Good morning, Leto fans. Welcome back to my Leto City. It's been quite a long time since I've shown you this old thing. I've added quite a lot to it since then, so quite a few things have changed, been moved around, and quite a lot of new minifigures have moved in. For those of you who may not remember, this is my Leto City Brickton, built on a 4x8 piece of plywood table, covered with green felt, and then affixed with a road system and some awesome Lego modular buildings. Without further ado, let me just get right on into it and share with you this awesome little city I built. Probably the biggest change between the two versions of Britain is the fact that the Old Town and New Towns have basically swapped places, with the Old Town now occupying the back half of my Lego table, and now comprising mostly of Lego and Lego branded ventures, I suppose. And the front part of my table now consists mostly of Lego modular buildings. The diner, the detective agency, the Grand Emporium, and the corner garage. Keen-eyed viewers may have noticed the billboard which I used to use in my back alley reviews is still there. And while I could easily remove it and replace it with the corresponding, I think that's light azure brick, basically I enjoyed having a billboard there just in case I were to run across a massive sticker. But also it reminds me of how I used to film things on YouTube, and it's a nice reminder, you know? But yeah, basically this whole alleyway here is now in the very center of my display. And if I were to ever record back here again, either I would I would have to be a really good contortionist, or I would have to make a big change again. But to be honest, I enjoy this style, this outlook, and this kind of display. It's more of a cityscape, having this kind of secluded alleyway in the back here. It's more of a natural cityscape in a way. And so I've decided to basically keep this as it is for the time being. So a while ago, I found a whole bunch of Native American Legos from a thrift store find. Painted ponies, the Indians, the headdresses, everything. They all came together, and I happily added them to my Lego display as sort of a multicultural parade going through my city. They're kind of parading in front of the diner and the Grand Emporium. But yeah, it seems that somebody didn't get the memo and arrived to the wrong party. I think you have the parade next week, pal. So ever since I got the Grand Emporium last holiday season, it's been a prime shopping hub for my Leto citizens. Mainly because, well, there really isn't other places to shop in my Leto city besides, well, toy stores. I might solve that in the future by buying some of the other modulars that have side buildings, like the laundromat and maybe the donut shop that comes with the police station coming out. I think next month. But yeah, I may look into those because I don't really need any more restaurants. I just really need more businesses. And come on, Lego, come on, help me out. Anyway, one of the main things I really love about this set, besides the fact that it adds some class to my city, now that it's out front, it really adds some good contrast to the corner garage there and the diner here. But yeah, besides that, it has some really good space up at the top here. So, I mean, the other modulars had some really tiny rooftops. This one, this one was the biggest, and by far the more fun to play with. I enjoyed having a bunch of cops and robbers. The robbers being up here, they're guarded and shielded from the street view, and they can plan their next big heist. Heist involving stealing whatever knickknacks and things the Grand Emporium actually sells. But it has this great skylight here, so they can just just grapple in and steal whatever. Today, though, we have the Oddscast, or at least the minifigure versions of such. Back when I was in college, I used to watch these guys all the time and their Minecraft shenanigans, and I felt it was only appropriate to, include them into my own YouTube series, in at least some form. But yeah, so we have Lewis here, the de facto leader of the group. There's Simon, the kind of mascot of the whole Yogscast. There's Sips and Shin. They were part of Sipsco, the rival to Lewis and Simon there. And in the back is Duncan, the techie who would just kind of do whatever he wanted. I guess he built a robot while I was talking. But yeah, so these guys are my favorite, and it just seemed appropriate to include them in some degree in my own YouTube shenanigans. So here they are, and they will probably show up again Much like the other minifigures around, I don't disassemble minifigures between shoots, so running gags will probably be running gags. Just keep a lookout in the background for them. Over here by the detective agency and Owls is a few minifigure scenes that I have playing on the sidewalk. There's Death. He's just kind of chilling out, walking around, having a grand old day. Everyone seems to be just not really paying him much attention, as you should. You shouldn't fear the Reaper Man. There's the toilet paper hoarder, complete with mask and just probably enough toilet paper to last an entire year at this point. Then we have this lady who's roller skating but didn't pay attention to the roller skating chicken and rabbit. That's a common mistake there. And I'm not really sure if I should say this on YouTube, but yeah, somebody had an accident. Basically, I enjoy making little minifigure scenes as well as just having fun with my minifigures. After all, what's more fun than making a Disco Man, Disco Stew? There's Evil Bob Ross, and then there's Business Raptor. Everyone's having a grand old time in front of the corner garage, which is actually one of my more favorites in terms of style modular buildings in my city. It's just so nice that it was just wrong to have it in the very back of my display. So I moved it out here to the front. It's the very front display, and it's very nice. Anyway, enough guff about that. We have a couple superheroes up here on the roof. There's Yellow Superman and Batman, followed by Man-Bat in the background there. Across the street from the corner garage is my Whole Foods market. It's a custom-made building which holds all of the non-fast food related foods that Lego has produced. Yeah, if you would like to see more of the detailed interior, exterior, and all the other interiors, please look at the video that I linked in the description, because that's really fun on the inside. Yeah, next door to it is a nice complement to the corner garage. It's the Treads Tuning Garage, which is sort of a hot rod custom shop. Basically, anything that you want to have added to your car that's not a stock option can be done here, which is right across the street from the corner garage, which has, nothing but stock. Over on the other side of town, we have one of my two mock buildings. Basically, the cosmos here was inspired by the Lego stickers you see on the outside there. I needed a movie theater for my city, and yeah, basically it's this. I consider it more of a Lego-themed movie theater since it has those classic astronauts on the front, as well as some displays on the inside, which I'll show later. So yeah, stay tuned for a forthcoming video about this building, this mock in its entirety. It's really quite a doozy to have display it all at once. So yeah, it'll be a video by itself. Mainly because there's a lot of movie kind of references and things going on, such as in the line out here. We have Duke Nukem. There's Bruce Willis. There's Luke. There's He-Man. Isaiah Clarke in front of, I guess that's a generic rebel. There's a race car man. There's Loki. A couple of clone troopers and stormtroopers there. All the way over here we have John Wick, which I'll show more in detail later. And then there's Gandalf trying to hawk the One Ring for a movie ticket and trying to convince the movie teller that Gimli is a child. Let's see if that really does. Let's see if that happens. Another one of my forthcoming videos is basically the Lego store that I have in my Lego city. Wow, that's kind of meta, right? Basically, this was a building that I had made just over the years out of numerous Lego store sets. And basically, I had a whole lot of fun making it into a corner building here. And I promise I'll do a more detailed video about that later. But up here on the top, we can see a whole bunch of my signature figures having a party. A few of them are having some issues there, dropping his laptop in the pool there. Yes, had a whole lot of fun making my signature figures over the years, and a few for the back part of it. Of course, I didn't have a signature figure when I was a baby. But yeah, basically, this is just my excuse to have a whole bunch of myself without being too awkward and weird. I don't know, I guess it still is. Anyway, next door is the Legoland, which is basically a combination of a whole bunch of Legoland Lego sets. Say that 3 times fast. The front gate here is a whole bunch of basically just my own parts and a few of the stickers from the set. I managed to buy a sticker sheet from an official Legoland set, and I think my entrance turned out a little bit better than anything you might find officially. I had a whole lot of fun like adding these old school figures on the corner here, along with that little brick there, celebrating 50 years of the Lego brick. So actually looking down in Legoland here, we can see that there's a Miniland component to my park, although it takes up the majority of my park space here, at least the drain space. But you know what, that's okay. Miniland is actually a really cool concept. If you're unfamiliar, basically they use a slightly larger proportion and building scale to kind of replicate more naturalistic and realistic building styles and things. And they pair that up with a real sort of shrubbery and greenery, and it really comes off as a kind of a realistic, photorealistic version of things with a little bit of Lego stuck in. You know, it's really cool. But yeah, basically in this little display here we have the Statue of Liberty next to the Golden Gate Bridge and Big Ben. Here's a windmill. Over there's like the Dutch canal streets. There's the Burj Khalifa and the Sydney Opera House, I think. Oh no, that's Mount Fuji. There's a sakura flower tree. There's all kinds of different things. Oop, camera. A train going through a tunnel. Just really cool stuff. There's Arch de Triomphe. You know, really cool. Everyone's here's having a whole fun, a whole lot of fun. Oop, I thought I could spin his propeller. I was mistaken. Anyway, over here on the other side of the park, rather, is the I guess the observation watchtower, so you can look down on the one of two attractions in my city park here, city Legoland rather. Spinning this little knob here will spin the top thing, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna make that bird really sick, but that's all right. I guess maybe birds can't get seasick or airsick or sick. I have never seen one. I'm just going to stop talking about that. Anyway, moving on to Legoland. Over on the other side of my Legoland park is the Legoland driving school. Basically, it's a little part of the park where kids can learn how to drive and get their own driver's license and have a grand old time. It seems like a lot of fun. It seems like a really good thing for kids to do. It's just something that you don't see in theme parks, really. And I'm sure it provides a whole lot of empowerment for the kids, you know. But yeah, I had something similar in my school. It was basically with trikes, and we learned how to drive. But something similar existed for me, and this brings back a little bit of nostalgia. But yeah, and we have a couple of kids driving around. We have a traffic control guy trying desperately not to be run over by children, and a couple of proud parents over there taking photos and making sure that their kids are enjoying themselves. This one hasn't really figured out how to start their car, or maybe they're just waiting for their turn. I'm just gonna go with that. One of the things I do enjoy about that set is the fact that they have massive safety traffic cones, which was really cool. But yeah, so that was a fun little addition to my Legoland. As well as this really detailed micro-scale castle, which was really fun. Something I couldn't place in the green space of my Legoland. But you know what? It works over here as a nice little attraction off to the side. Basically, the entire back of my Lego city is nothing but a giant park space, which I have dedicated to a variety of different buildings and people and all kinds of stuff. So let's just go over them a little one by one. I'll go over in a minute, but over there is the food court. Next to that is a hedge maze, along with a nice botanical garden, a nice fountain, and a relaxation spot in the back for couples. Some utterly massive trees there that got cut down a long time ago. Of course, there's the mime. And last but not least, we have the food court area. Just in case you're not really into all those health food things, we have food for you. Over in the corner here, we have an artery-clogging burger next to everyone's favorite coffee chain. There's a hot dog vendor over there. Ooh, there she is. She's serving some wieners to looks like a guy and a robot. Oh, and there's some aliens there getting some coffee. That's cool. Next to that, we have the juice stand. Here's a donut shop. Being there, donut that, I believe is what this set has been called. It's one of my favorite ones of all time. And we have one of my custom ones, Hooters, complete with a whole bunch of owls on top. And there we go, folks. There's my Lego City in a nutshell. If you'd like to see some more of Brickton, as well as my own creations and reviews, please leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.